Hello everyone! Welcome back to Fan Mail, where I answer your questions, display submissions, and anything else that we might find. Let's get a few updates out of the way. First and biggest is that I now have a second channel. Some of you who know me well might be aware that I am a connoisseur of the fine art best known as the YouTube poop. It looks a little something like this.
Who are you?
You know how expensive this gear is, son?
I decided to start making my own YTPs as they allow me to have a lot of fun editing, blow off steam, make myself laugh, and upload something more often than once every 3 months. So, if you like stuff like
Relax. Piss off. Demon.
Eat shit, motherfucker!
I'm crazy.
then come check out Chronicler Poops. There's a link in the video description. Now, about the stuff you actually subscribed for. Brotherhood War is coming along steadily. Hopefully you saw the teaser I uploaded a little while back. If not, links in the description. Here's some Brotherhood War stats and facts. Brotherhood War has 26 individual voice actors. The script is 137 pages long. Body acting lasted 16 sessions, with each session lasting around 3 hours each, meaning about 48 hours of body acting was done in total. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 have been mostly fully edited, and have run times of around 30 to 40 minutes. And that's the first 3 of 5 episodes, all of which I expect to run at least 30 minutes each, so yeah, this is going to be a long one. Stay tuned for more updates. Wasteland is also still in hibernation. I'm expecting at least episode 6 to be released soon after Brotherhood War releases. Sorry about the wait, fans of Wasteland, but I appreciate you being patient with me. Okay, I think that's all I have to say for now. Let's get on with the fan mail. Just a reminder that not all questions may be answered due to episode time requirements. Due to the events of last episode, let's just say I'm not particularly keen on bringing my characters to the stage as guest stars right now. So for this episode, I've brought in a neutral party, someone who doesn't totally hate my guts just for doing my job. From the Machinima Halo Butt Buddies created by ThaGreatIsaiah, it's Harold. Hey! Hi everyone! Hello! Oh gosh, it's just so neat to be here! Welcome, Harold. Glad to have you. Oh yeah, it's really cool to be here, Chronicler. I'm so excited to help you answer fan mail today. Your fans are so nice and they always have great questions. Oh gosh, I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to this. I hope I got the entrance right. I've been practicing it for a while, but I felt kind of giddy when I walked on stage, and I'm afraid I might have messed it up. Harold, I've only got you on lease from Isaiah for this one episode, so we should probably get to reading some mail. Of course. Sorry. Alright, let's see. First question today is from Sloppier Manx.
For Harold. First, what's your favorite food? Second, do you enjoy your job as a real fucking lawyer? And what's your favorite part about it?
My favorite food is quiche, and I really do like my job. I've always been passionate about it, and I worked really hard to become a lawyer. My favorite part is whenever I win a case that I know is for a good cause. For instance, a few years ago, I was hired by a guy who said he was being wrongfully convicted. There's nothing worse than being wrongfully convicted, and I felt so bad for him, so I made sure that he walked away a free man. And he did, which is great, because he seemed like a nice guy, too. What was this guy's name, Harold? Jeffrey Epstein. Oh. I wonder what's been going on with him these days. I never hear from him. Oh, I hope he's okay. Well, I can tell you he didn't kill himself. Next question's from Bobby Bonifazi.
Hey, my name is Bobby, or BobbyBones12 on Xbox. Are you planning on going back to Reach at any point to explain Nick's character after Last of the Squad, and are you going to use the Reach game to explain any past stories of Phoenix Team? It would be really cool if you do. Also, what did happen to Nick? I only asked because he was in Last of the Squad and first season of The Last War. Sincerely, BobbyBones12.
I will be using Reach to explain a part of Zack's backstory somewhere in the upcoming Brotherhood War and its sequels, but I can't say too much about that right now. As for Nick the pilot, he survived through Border War and Last of the Squad and helped Phoenix Team when they first arrived at Reach. Unfortunately, his Falcon was EMP'd while carrying Catherine and Michael, and he died upon crashing.
Pilot's dead. We need to get moving.
Next question comes to us from Logan Blue 44.
Hey, Chronicler 177. After watching Lifebringer, I was curious if the Hyporians would ever return.
Our next question is from Odd Night 712.
Random question for Chronicler and guest!
Chronicler, which of your Machinima character do you fear the most? Second question for Chronicler, what creature from Bionicle would you like to have as a pet? Guest, did you have any good memories with your friends?
I'd be scared shitless of the Mind from Bikeron if he really existed. He's on a totally different power level than any other villain I've written. He's basically an eldritch god. Also, I'd totally dig having an Ussel Crab as a pet. My favorite memory with my friends is when we faced off against Bartholomew's MLG cousin. It was the first time we really all banded together as friends, and then we got to watch the sunset on that Halo 5 map that I can't remember the name of.
Empire.
Empire, yeah! It's really pretty there. Our next one's from Angle of War 98.
Okay, I just realized that you have been releasing the new Fallout series, and I got to say, I'm excited. What kind of mods are you using? What made you switch to a new main character? Anyway, can't wait to watch this new series in its entirety.
Wasteland 2019 utilizes several cheat mods to achieve God mode, infinite items, and basically anything that allows me greater control over the game. Then there's cosmetic mods like the flashlight for the hunter's pistol and rifle as well as his backpack. Maybe someday I'll upload a full list of the mods I'm running on Fallout 4 for the series. My reasoning for switching to a different protagonist was because I just couldn't figure out how to tell the story from Jonathan's perspective anymore, at least in an entertaining way that was worth making. Then it hit me close to the end of 2018. I could still continue Jonathan's story, but from a different perspective, from someone who is hunting Jonathan for the crimes he committed in New Vegas. This would allow me to continue the story from the original series, as well as both showcase the consequences of Jonathan blowing up the Strip, and breathe new life into the Wasteland series. The whole hunt plot gave me a road to write the series on, I just had to fill in the details. Now a bunch of good questions from major winners.
Good afternoon/morning to the both of you. I'll get right down to business. For Chronicler, what Machinima tools would you like to see implemented into Halo Infinite? What are your top 3 favorite bands? This can also apply to Harold. Also, if you had a lightsaber, what would it look like? For Harold, how did you become the most patient and friendly person on the planet? And what's it like effectively staring at yourself and realizing that if you and Kron touched, you would probably break the fabric of space due to a time paradox? Thanks for stopping by, Harold, and I hope you both have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, winners! I hope you have a good day too! I want to see Alert Carry come back, obviously, but I also want to see an Alert Carry animation for the energy sword like it had in Reach in Halo 2 Anniversary. That was very convenient for weaponless scenes, and I don't really understand why it didn't appear in Halo 4 or 5. I'd like to see the Machinima mode return for custom games, but I also want to see theater mode back up to Halo 3 standards of quality again. I'd also like to see some new camera features added, like focus adjustment, lens flare, that sort of thing. For lightsabers, I dual-wield single hilts. One would be silver and one would be gold. Basically what I do in Knights of the Old Republic 2 every time I play through it. My top 3 bands would have to be U2, Bastille, and Imagine Dragons. Yeah, I know, I'm a basic bitch. I like a lot of their songs. Sue me. Frank would say, "Oh, you like Imagine Dragons? How about you Imagine Dragon my balls across
Harold,
your
answer the other questions, please.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know about the nicest person on the planet, but I do really try to be happy and friendly all the time. I just want to make everyone else happy. I don't get it right all the time, of course, but I'm only human. My favorite 3 artists are Katrina and the Waves, the Beatles, and Billy Joel." As for the whole time paradox bit, the fan mail set is right smack in the middle of a time vortex where time is more malleable than usual, so we're not in danger of anything on the show impacting other timelines or having any major consequences. Looks like Ty has a question for you, Harold. Oh, goody!
Question for Harold. Rumor has it that some of your jokes and mannerisms are based off real-life people that the creator of Butt Buddies knows. Period. How does that make you feel if that applies to everyone in the main cast?
Well, Ty, it does make some sense for Dante's character. There are a lot of very angry people out there who have trouble dealing with their emotions, and so lash out at everyone around them. Dante's a good person deep down, but I think he has a lot of self-esteem issues and can't communicate that well, so he just pushes everyone away. I've seen it before in some of my clients, and there's a lot of it on the internet too. Mostly, though, it just makes me feel really bad for whoever Frank is based off of. Hang on, this next question from Crix Calamino is a follow-up to Ty's.
Follow up to Ty's question. For Harold, if your humor was based on a real-life person, then how do you feel about not being the only one out there with your terrible sense of humor? Winky face. For Harold, if you ever got to open up your own firm, what would it be called? For Kron, what's the story of how you met Isaiah and got into Butt Buddies? For Kron, who is your favorite character in Butt Buddies? If it's Harold, who other than him?
Aw, I didn't think my humor was terrible. That makes me sad, Crix.
It's not terrible, Harold. He just doesn't understand you. I think you're hilarious.
Well, I guess it's not so bad then. Anyway, if I got my own firm, I'd call it Johnson & Johnson Legal.
Oh, because you have a brother who is a lawyer too?
No, I'm an only child.
Then why are there two names?
All the best firms have two last names in their title. Duh!
Oh, I didn't know your last name was Johnson.
It's not. My last name is Ivy.
Then why call it Johnson & Johnson?
Ivy and Ivy just doesn't have a good ring to it. Johnson & Johnson sounds way better.
Yeah, well, that's also a brand who makes baby soap. I've got it. You could call it Ivy League Law. You know, like the schools.
Oh, hey, that's prestigious. Thanks, Chronicler.
My turn. I first found Isaiah's channel by watching Misfits, and I was very intrigued and wanted to help voice act. When he held auditions for Butt Buddies, I tried out for Dante, but got cast as Harold instead, which turned out to be a much better fit, and the rest is history. I love playing Harold.
Aw, thanks.
My other favorite Butt Buddies character is John. He gets the best lines and delivery combo, and is such a black sheep among the others that he really stands out and always makes me laugh. Ebonblade has another question for us.
To Kron. I know you're quite the machinima maker, but have you thought of ever doing your own fan-made stories on StarCraft, Halo, and ETC on websites like Archive of Our Own, or just for your own stress reliever? You've made great stories and put them on YouTube, so it wouldn't be too far off, in my opinion, that you could be a great author.
Several years back, I actually put out 2 Star Wars novels on fanfiction.com that were supposed to be part of an eventual trilogy. I never got around to writing the 3rd book because, guess what? Writing novels is hard. In some ways, harder than making machinima. I've tried lots of projects that were supposed to be stress relievers. The Star Wars books were supposed to be stress relievers. Wasteland 2019 was supposed to be a stress reliever. The Bionicle book I've been dabbling in is supposed to be a stress reliever. All of them just add more stress. I guess they really mean it when they say nothing worth doing is easy. The closest thing I've found to being a stress reliever is my YouTube poop channel. This question is from Foundleaf Machinimas.
What other machinimas are you featured in?
Funny you should mention that.
My most prominent role outside of my channel is in Halo Butt Buddies by ThaGreatIsaiah, in which I star as Harold here.
Hello!
I was also recently featured in Lazy Bunch's series Lone Wolves in a small role. Here's a question from Hero Gameplays.
For Harold, how does it feel to be the leader of the MLG clan, and how do you balance out being a lawyer and playing Xbox 8 hours a day with Dante? For Chronicler, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as a content creator, and have you planned everything out as a content creator for when you're going to upload projects?
I'm the leader of an MLG clan? Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought everyone did.
And I don't play Xbox 8 hours a day. I really only have a little time each day to spend with my friends. Being a lawyer is hard work.
In 5 years, I hope to have the Brotherhood War sequels and Odd Men Out Season 3 completed, and I hope to be working on the final installment of the Spartan Legacy by that point. But we'll see. I have everything planned out until my retirement, but it kinda depends on whether or not life goes according to plan. Which it never does. Next question is from Lord Zane. It's for you, Harold.
Oh boy!
Hey, Harold, I hope your job as a lawyer is going well. You rock, man! First, why do you insist on playing with Dante if he is such a prick? And Frank, since he's a complete and total disgusting pervert. Second, which of the other butt buddies do you like the most?
Like I said earlier, Dante's a good guy underneath all that meaniness. It just doesn't come out much. As for Frank, well, he's just kind of part of the package. I also really like Jessica. I think she's pretty cool.
Oh, hey, there's a postscript to this question.
P.S. If I'm being honest with you, I feel that I should tell you that you kind of overdid that liar liar line a little. No offense.
Well, I guess that would be your fault, wouldn't it?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Next question! It's from Dark Feather.
For Harold, how does it feel that you are the 3rd most liked character out of 5 characters posted in a poll? 9% compared to Dante's 32% and John's 40%. If it makes you feel any better, I voted for you and not Jessica.
Wow, thanks for voting for me, Feather. Third best isn't too bad, and I'm happy for Dante and John. They are great guys. I mean, at least I did better than Frank, right? Now we got a couple questions from Kojo.
I have 3 questions. For Harold, number 1, something that I noticed from watching the Butt Buddies, God, that sounds so wrong out of context, and talking about the 3 protagonists, you, Dante, and Frank, and when I thought to myself on who I relate to more, I seem to be a mix of all 3, and I asked other people who've seen the series who they related to as well, and they came up with a similar answer. My question is, are the 3 of you made to be drastic contrasts of parts of an average person's personality? And does this also relate to the 3 of you wearing the colors of RGB, which are what are mixed into other colors when referring to light? Or is this all some sort of coincidence? For Chronicler, number 2, do you enjoy voicing characters that are more or less like you? And can you give tips for voice acting? Number 3, I dare you to name at least 5 characters that you have voiced that don't wear the color green. And Forge monitors don't count.
I don't know about any of that stuff, Kojo. I just picked green because I like it, and my last name is Ivy. I find voicing characters that are more like me easier to do, but I do like the challenge of doing a character that isn't like me as well. As far as tips go, all advice I can give boils down to one thing. Keep practicing, self-evaluating, and improving. It's the only way you'll get anywhere. And as for 5 characters I voiced that aren't green, here we go. Mark, Logan, the Mind, Fleetmaster, Captain Riopel, easy! Naomi has a submission for Harold.
Harold, please kiss Dante. Also, what's your total kill count in all of the games you've ever played in Halo?
I don't really want to do that, Naomi. And probably like 5? At least 5. Shadow Wolf has a question now.
Hey, Chronicler, I have a question. Do you remember the real-life Half-Life films you made? Do you plan on making a Half-Life series like you did with Left 4 Dead and Test Track? Or probably not. I hope you have a good day, man, and keep up the good work. P.S. Harold, you're my favorite character. You have a good day as well, man.
Thank you, Wolf. I probably won't make a Half-Life related series, Wolf. However, the sequels to Brotherhood War will certainly have some Half-Life inspired elements now that you mention it. Here's a submission from Tag Force.
Hey, Chronicler! Sightseeing, were you? I have a couple of questions. Number 1, since you made the new timeline for Halo, what happened to the Spirit of Fire? Did anything change or did it end up the same? Number 2, what Machinima was was the hardest to make? Number 3, which one was you easiest to make?
In the Spartan Legacy, the Spirit of Fire is unfortunately still out there, drifting somewhere. The hardest machinima to make so far has been Brotherhood War, because of its immense size, amount of characters, and continuity it has to follow through with. Easiest probably would have been Test Tracks, but if you don't count that, then probably Final Farewell in the Spartan Legacy. Looks like our last question today is from That Clumsy Guy.
Fleet Guardian, have you ever met or heard of 032 mendicant bias?
Guardian? Sorry, Clumsy. Guardian must still be mad at me from the last episode. I can say he's heard of Mendicant Bias, but he's never met him before. Okay, looks like we've wrapped up another episode of Fan Mail. Thanks for joining us today, Harold. It was awesome having you. Yeah, thanks for the great questions, everyone. It was great being here. I'll see y'all later. Stay tuned as we draw closer to Brotherhood War's release for more news. And don't forget, you can join my Discord and post your fan mail there, or email it to chronicler177@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.